Welcome to another B2 First ESL-Lounge reading lesson video. Today we will be reading my grandmother's recipe box. Let's begin with some vocabulary. To inherit. To receive money, property, or a title from someone after they have died. Battered. Old and in bad condition because it has been used a lot. Faded. Less bright in color than before. Illegible. Difficult or impossible to read. Splatter. A spot or mark made by a dropping liquid. Nostalgic. Having a feeling of pleasure and sadness when you think about past times. Archive. A collection of historical documents or records. Anecdote. A short, interesting, or amusing story about a real person or event. Heirloom. A valuable object that has belonged to a family for several generations. To decipher. To succeed in reading or understanding something that is difficult. Great! Now you know the key words, let's read the story. When my grandmother passed away last year, I inherited very little in the traditional sense. There was no antique furniture or valuable jewelry. Instead, I was given her old battered wooden recipe box. At first, I was a little disappointed. But that small box has since become my most treasured possession. It's more than just a collection of recipes. It's a tangible archive of my family's history and my grandmother's life. The box itself is a simple thing, dark wood with a hinged lid, but its contents are priceless. Inside are hundreds of index cards, some typed neatly on a typewriter, others handwritten in my grandmother's faded, elegant cursive script. Many of the cards are stained with splatters of cake batter or drops of oil. Battle scars from a lifetime of use. Some are so worn that the ink has become almost illegible. End of page 1. Let's continue. What makes this box so special, however, are the personal notes she scribbled in the margins. I have to carefully decipher the instructions for her famous lemon drizzle cake. Next to the recipe for chocolate chip cookies, a note reads, "James's favorite. Make these when he visits from university." Beside a recipe for apple crumble, she wrote, "Perfect for a cold autumn evening." These small anecdotes transform a simple set of instructions into a nostalgic story. Each card is a snapshot of a moment, a celebration, a simple family dinner. There are also recipes in different handwriting, passed down from her own mother and aunts, with notes like, "From Aunt Carol's kitchen." It's a connection that stretches back through generations. In a way, this box is a more intimate and personal heirloom than any piece of jewelry. End of page 2. Let's continue. It tells the story of our family not through grand events, but through the simple everyday act of sharing food and love. I have started cooking my way through the box, trying to recreate the tastes and smells of my childhood. Some attempts are more successful than others, but with each recipe, I feel a stronger connection to my grandmother, and to the family history she so carefully preserved in this small wooden box. It has taught me that the most valuable legacies are often not the ones with a monetary value, but those filled with memory and love. Okay, time for a few questions to check your understanding. Question 1. What was the writer's initial feeling about inheriting the recipe box? A. They were overjoyed and excited. B. They were indifferent and did not care about it. C. They weren't thrilled with their inheritance at first. D. They were confused about what it was. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is C. The writer says that at first they were, quote, a little disappointed, which means they weren't thrilled. Question 2. What do the stains and splatters on the recipe cards represent? A. That the grandmother was a messy cook. B. That the recipes are very old and difficult to make. C. That the box was not stored in a safe place. D. That the recipes were frequently used over a long time. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is D. The text describes them as battle scars from a lifetime of use, which implies they were used often. Question 3. What makes the recipe box particularly special to the writer? A. The valuable wooden box it is made from. B. The fact that some recipes are typed on a typewriter. C. All the little comments her grandmother had scribbled down. D. The monetary value of the recipes inside. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is C. The text states what makes the box special are the personal notes she scribbled in the margins. Question 4. How does the box connect the writer to older generations? A. It contains photographs of her mother and aunts. B. Some of the recipes are written in the handwriting of other relatives. C. It includes a detailed family tree with names and dates. D. There are letters from family members stored in the box. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is B. The text mentions seeing recipes in different handwriting from her own mother and aunts. Question 5. The writer describes the box as a more intimate and personal heirloom than any piece of jewelry because A. It shows how the family lived day to day, not just special occasions. B. It is much older than any of the family's jewelry. C. It is worth a lot of money. D. It is a secret that only the writer knows about. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is A. The text supports this by saying the box tells the family story through the simple, everyday act of sharing food, not just grand events. Question 6. What is the final lesson the writer has learned from the recipe box? A. That they are not as good at cooking as their grandmother was. B. That it is important to write down all family recipes. C. That the things you can't put a price on are worth the most. D. That old recipes are often healthier than modern ones. Pause the video now to think about your answer. The correct answer is C. The final sentence explains the lesson that, quote, the most valuable legacies are often not the ones with a monetary value. Let's quickly summarize the lesson. On this screen you can review the main points of the text and the key vocabulary. Finally, here are a few discussion questions. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this ESL Lounge video. Don't forget to subscribe for more lessons, and we'll see you in the next one.